you guys are our only line to this building. You take that away and give it to the chairperson and to the staff. You're cutting our lines for us to become allies. So don't do that. We need to be more engaging. I think you guys learned a lot today. You sat here a long time and learned a lot. And a lot of you are new, so it's a good experience. Some of you are old timers and got some good old stories.
Maybe you're older than me.
Well, but
give them a break.
We want to be allies, and just in case this actually goes through, I want to make a formal request for contested case hearing, just in case that this thing doesn't work out. So I don't know how to do a formal, except to say it to all of you that I would like to say that I would like to have a formal contested case hearing, and I hope we can be allies.
So, question.
Sure.
Can he make a contested case request dependent on how the vote goes? Does it?
He's going to have to follow it up in writing,
Right,
so I think the answer is yes.
In writing.
Yes.
Sure, make the request, and if
Yeah.
you wish to follow up in writing, depending on what the outcome is, then please do that, sir.
Chairman, I got it.
Mr. Rorik has a question for you.
What's your name again?
Walter.
I heard. So here's my question, because I didn't hear it clearly. You're against one. You're more against one than you are against two. So explain that to me again.
Well, one is really clear that it cuts off our ability to come before this board. And I see this board as our only way for us to express our satisfaction or dissatisfaction, whatever it
With
is.
permits. With permits. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if let's say an area is going to be closed,
Yeah.
we got to come before. We can say something before this board, what the impacts are going to be on us and all of that.
Okay.
If you do number one, chairman or her designees can make that decision, and we don't have that ability to come before this board and express our dissatisfaction or our satisfaction. It cuts us off. So the more power you give away, the less power we have as a community to come to you. And we need to be coming to you as
Are you going to follow up? Oh, sorry.
That's all I got.
I was just going to follow up on that a little bit. In C1, there are several sections that have some delegations. Some of them is for entering into contracts. Some of them is for coming up with qualifications for disabled hunters. But what I've been hearing as the two sections that are particularly of concern and interest are the two that deal with the temporary closure being delegated to the chairperson.
yes.
Is that the particular sections that
That's the section that
Are
the flags that I saw that really don't higher up. Yeah, it was the closing. I guess for mammals and birds.
two sections of mammal section?
Right. I'm a hunter also.
Yes.
So,
Mahalo, Uncle.
okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mark.
I have a question. I have a couple of questions. So,
Contested.
I hear. So, I hear what you're saying. I think the dilemma that I feel sitting here is that I hear a lot of people basically saying that they are so opposed to the TMT that they think it was good to put rocks in the road, that they will do whatever is necessary to stop that construction from going forward. And I'm a lawyer. I'm a person that believes in this phrase that's called the rule of law. And there are legal recourses. There is still a legal recourse to stop the TMT. It's not standing in the road. It's not putting rocks in the road. And my dilemma is I don't know what they expect the government to do when the government, like myself, is committed to the rule of law. But I'm not sure I understand. It seems like
Where this is a nation of laws, and sooner or later that law is going to be corrected. Yep. And in the meantime, we have to work with the existing system because our resources are disappearing so fast. I'm 70 years old. I used to see fish galore. You know, and I know the resources are disappearing. I know they're disappearing. So I have to do something to protect it because I have a kuleana to the future generations, and so do you. So all I'm saying is, you know, you have to do what you have to do, but don't play games like this to do what you gotta do. Make it pono and straight up. And we're gonna have to do what we're gonna have to do. And we're saying we're gonna be kapu aloha in all of this. There's no intention whatsoever. In our day, we weren't kapu aloha. Our generation was not kapu aloha. Let me tell you. I mean, I had lawyers keeping me out of jail constantly. So, and that's the truth. So this generation has had knowledge that we never had, and they have protocols and guidance that we never had. You guys got to back up this generation. You know, I mean, this is a great partnership if you guys could put it together to save our resources. That's the end game. The end game is not whether we should have telescopes on the mountain. It's the sacredness of all of our resources. We all know, as Hawaiians, we came from Mauna Kea, Sky Father, and Ho'ohoku Kalani, the Star Mother. I mean, talk about irony. That's who we are. We're born of these people, and we're fighting with the telescope guys. This thing don't make any sense.
Well, I wish I hope there's a way around this conflict. The only thing I'd like to suggest to you is that Native Hawaiians have had many successes in the regular legal system with judges that have, you know, the U.S. flags next to their bench. They have had many successes, and we are trying, and this board here is trying to move the laws. When you talk about resource protection, we're trying to move the laws in a positive way.
Every success, we have 10 failures. Okay, so let's balance this thing, okay? So, but process. That's what they did. He had a 7-year process. Why are you guys grumbling? We have a 7-year process. Just look at this process. I mean, we cannot accept the process that we lose on every single one on these processes. So that's why I'm saying this process, you know, all this stuff that the governor is telling you guys to go do in order to get us off the mountain, it's not your kuleana to do. If he wants to do that, tell the governor and his attorney general, go find another way. We're not going to go make enemies out of the Hawaiians who want to protect it, which is what you guys are supposed to be doing in the first place. That just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
Mr. Roerig.
When I was 18, I was a protester.
Mike.
When I was 18, when I went to college, I was a protester. But when we get into the club, they never come for honing. I got hit on the head with a stick real hard, knocked me down. I got hit again on the arm, and the cop was trying to arrest me. And I crawled off and I ran. The Italian cop tried to catch me, and I went in the dormitory and hid in the closet. And I had a headache for about 3 weeks. And I got away. And I was throwing rocks and snowballs through the president's window, me and some of my freshman friends, because he didn't like what the president of the university was doing. And I was 18. I look back on that, how stupid I was, you know. And then I had trouble in intermediate school, Stevenson. I was asked to leave because I was in a gang. You know, I was only Holly in a gang. Then I went to high school. I got asked to leave high school. So when I got sworn in as a lawyer to uphold the law, I never broke it. And I uphold it. I swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of the State of Hawaii, and all the federal and state laws. And that's it. And when I look in the mirror, and I say, I'm proud I didn't break that. And I tell my Hawaiian clients, I'm not going to hold sign with you on the road. You want me to protest? I protest in court, according to precedent of the existing law. And the problem I have with this is Chris has the same problem. The problem is the case of, I got it right here. Hang on a minute. You want to take a look at 2 cases. One of them is OHA versus State of Hawaii, 129 Supreme Court, 1436. It specifically says that the apology resolution did not apply to invalidate the transfer of all the land of the federal government to the state of Hawaii. All the land of the federal government went to the state of Hawaii instantaneously when the statehood bill was passed in the U.S. Congress. That's what the case says. So for me, I cannot pretend that Mauna Kea or want to believe that Mauna Kea is owned by somebody else, or that the apology thing meant that the land didn't go to the state of Hawaii. I cannot go there, and that's the problem. So I have to go with the existing law, and the existing law says that 30 meter has a contract and a property right. If the Supreme Court hoolies that decision and does something with it, we may all end up on the same side again. But until that happens, I'm not going to break my oath as a lawyer. Because I got a Hawaiian family too, brother.
I don't have an oath as a lawyer, but I also understand international law. So there's more than just national law.
Okay, well, I understand.
That's the difference between
you know what,
myself
and I respect your point of view because you're a stand-up guy. But I'm older than you. I'm 76.
Okay.
But anyway, Walter, we need your help. We need your help. And what we got to do is, if the law stays the way it is and the Supreme Court approves what the 30 meter got to do, and there's still going to be a protest, we're going to be on the side of law and order. I have to be on the side of law and order. As long as I'm on the board, I'm on the side of law and order. And I'm sorry, but I draw the line right there. I got a Hawaiian grandson. He comes to my house every weekend, plays with my wife and I. Mostly he plays with my wife, the tutu, and they read books. And I look at him, and I know he's never going to make it, maybe all the way to law school. But he's a fine man. He's only 6. And I want him to have the right idea in his head. And I want him to learn the law and order is important.
So all I'm saying here is that if the law courts do what they do, that's fine. We'll abide by the law courts. But right now, what we're talking about is rulemaking, and the rulemaking. That's the part that I'm hearing. And
I hear you.
That's going to either separate us or help bring us together with trust. Because right now, these last minute moves, this Konani move is not a good Konani move.
Thank you.
Thank you.